Hello again. Today I'd like to demo a Chrome extension that I created to save bandwidth for people with slow internet connections, be it dial-up, DSL, slow wireless connections, even satellites with data caps. I created a small extension to try and save bandwidth on the client side, meaning you don't need any external proxy, you don't need any external server to do any of the compression. It's basically a limit cap for certain image formats. And what it does is that any image format, it will only download 64 KB of that image. Now, the reason for this is some JPEG formats load the whole image at bits at a time. So if you interrupt that image load, you get a low quality image. Whereas other JPEG formats, like baseline, just go from top to bottom, line by line. So what this does is this will interrupt once it hits 64 KB and essentially saving you plenty of data depending on how you're browsing. And the reason I created this is I actually watched a video recently by the channel The Serial Port where they connected like 11 or 12 dial-up modems to try to get broadband connection through dial-up and actually watch a YouTube video. And that got me thinking about previous things we used to do during the dial-up days, such as accelerated dial-up, where it used a compression server to compress data before sending it to you. And those services used to exist, and there were a lot for free. Google for a while had accelerated browsing using compression, which they discontinued for both mobile and desktop. There was another one. There was actually another Chrome extension called Fasten where it used a server and you could set the quality on your login. You could set it for black and white images and it would tell you how much data you were saving. The Opera browser used to have compression servers included that you could enable. And basically, you click Data Saver, and all it was a compression server. They turned it off for desktops. It still works on mobile, and I actually do have a video on how to get it working on a desktop using an Android emulator and browsing through the Opera mobile app on your desktop or laptop. And I just wanted to see what you could do on the client side. So this is what I came up with. Just to show an example, first of all, I want to refresh this. And keep in mind, the reason I picked this web page is because it had both progressive JPEG images and baseline images. So not all sites are going to have both. So we're going to go to the Megan Fox Wiki. So now just click this image. So as you can see, it gets to 64 KB and stops, saving you the remainder of it. And obviously, if you want to view the whole image, you can turn off the extension and reload the page. If I ask for a higher quality or enlarge it, it's going to be less because it's only doing 64 KB. It's basically a JPEG interrupter, which shows some interesting results. This is the same baseline stuff right here. But if you go to a progressive image, it loads the full image, but it's just lower quality. And just to show you that this works, I actually downloaded it with and without the extension. So this is the original without the extension running. It's 100 KB. We didn't download 100 KB, we downloaded 64 KB. So this is the interrupted file. As you can see, the file name changes and it's only 64 KB. So let's look at the difference here. So this is the full quality image. And this is the interrupted image, simulating compression on the client side by interrupting the image load. Now, I did try to write the extension to distinguish between baseline JPEG and progressive JPEG, but I ran into a lot of issues. So I just left it as is. Obviously, you can use it how you want to use it. If you want to add to the code, that's absolutely fine. I do not have a landline telephone in my new home. I recently just moved. So anybody who still might be on dial-up or even just has a really slow internet connection or data plan that is capped, I would love to see you use this and see how well it works. And if you can find any reason whatsoever that you can find that it's downloading the full file instead of just the 64 KB, please let me know. Now, if you have a super fast internet connection, it may do it before the interrupt intercepts. But let me just show you what I found when just loading the image directly on the website. So here you have the 206 status, that's the interrupt, and it only downloaded 66.6 KB of the image, saving the rest of it. Remember, this file was 100 KB. So it is working from what I can see, but obviously if there's something else on the back end that can't be confirmed, that's absolutely fine. Here's this other one. Now, what's interesting is this is kind of a blurred image anyways at full quality. So, and it only missed 20 KB of it. So it's pretty accurate. So we have this one at 80.4 KB, and then the interrupt did 59.6. Now, size on disk can vary, so let's actually see if it says 64 anywhere. Yeah, 64 KB file size on disk. Okay, now just to show another example, I'm going to go to google.com. That's the image I want. I don't know how well you guys can see that. Hold on. Okay, so as you can see how blurry it is here. I do know that my camera's in the way. But yeah, you see how blurry this is here. Now, if we go ahead and turn off the extension, turn off my bandwidth saver, refresh the page, cancel that, go back in. See how much clearer it is? And I also downloaded this one as well. So the original file size is 666 KB. So that was significant savings on that particular file. So yeah, I'll go ahead and post a link in the description below to my bandwidth saver 64 KB interrupter. You are welcome to edit it. I was going to post it as an official Chrome extension, but when you attach your name or company to things, I want some feedback first. I want to see if it's actually working. So hope it helps somebody and hope you guys found this interesting. And until next time, have a great one.